We back? It still says offline for me. Oh, okay. That was weird. All right, so I didn't have to remote in again. Shit. Okay, we can bring that over to here. We can bring up exiting or excite. Oh, something exciting. Okay, you must have preempted that. Okay, yeah. I did look at the DJI Mic 3. Now, I think in some use cases it might be great. What are the things? Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. So the sources were here on this camera angle. We have the Rock 5B Plus. We have the Rock 5A. Then we have another Rock 5A, 4GB. They were having a sale on, so I bought it. So many rocks. Prepare to rock your world. Yes. Yeah, they were having a sale on. I thought you knew. we will. Oh. And it wasn't like a massive discount either. Oh, let me. You know what? I'll bring it up just to double check. I don't know what sale it was, but there was a sale, and then there was a discount too, and yeah, worked out great. One thing though, the Wi-Fi adapter that I ordered doesn't work for some reason. I plug it in, and nothing shows up. So, a bit sad about that. That's not even the same company. My orders. Let's see. Okay, let's go. Let's order details. Let's go here. So a Rock 5A was priced at. I don't know if this was the purchase price or if this is the. How much is the Rock 5A then? Let's have a look. How much? Okay. How much did you buy your Rock 5A for, including shipping? 4GB, 8GB. Because the thing about AliExpress, all the prices they show don't include tax. So you're going to have to add the 10% GST on top of that. So no idea. Okay. So the Rock 5A, it's the same price that I bought it for. I think when I paid for my Rock 5A, the first one, I think it was $120 plus another 18 for shipping. So it's come down a little bit in price. And there was the sale for AliExpress that if you were to spend over a certain amount, you get a discount of some sort. So I think for this one, if you spend over $400, you get a $50 discount. But then if you include the GST from that base price, it just literally cancels out because you have to pay for shipping anyway. So yeah. So yeah, one Rock 5B Plus, two 5As, two Wi-Fi antennas, which doesn't get picked up by the Bellrock software, so I have no idea what to do. I mean, the whole point of having those antennas is so that I don't have to rely on, or I don't have to use the older antenna systems, which I should look into. Hang on. No idea. No idea. So the whole point of buying the other antenna systems is to get rid of these antennas, then use the flat surface mount ones. So yeah. Okay, now I've forgotten that I left this on, so I'm just going to have to remote in, or sorry, use the web remote and run the updates, because apparently there's a huge amount of updates. Okay. Yes. So that was that one. For the Rock 5A, because you asked. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to update the Rock 5A with the BellaBox software, and then do a restart on it, and yeah, everything should be up and running and tip top, assuming this process is completed successfully. Nice. Okay. Okay. So tax is separate according to that price listed. Okay. So the price that I paid was 107.7. So that there was a saving of $7 plus the combo coupon if you spent over a certain amount. And I think with that particular one, I spent download invoice. Let's see if it shows the invoice, the amount of discounts. Shit. These are all priced in Chinese. Okay, that's their invoice. Okay, yeah. Let's see where we at now. We don't need that one, that one. Do a restart on the device. Okay, yeah. So 107.19, and then because I bought, so two of those would have been 214, and then the Rock 5B Plus, I think I paid 154. So then 367, and then I think I need you to just add up. You're missing a bell box somewhere? Okay. You didn't learn it out, right? Oh, excuse me. But yeah, this is the Rock 5A with the UPS device that I have utilizing two 1700 lithium-ion batteries. So this is now running off the internal cells, and there's no power bank. So this white cable will plug into a power bank to top up the UPS cells. Oh, the Jetsons. Yeah, I've lost count, and I've just it's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. All right, let me just double check the Rock 5A, make sure there's no other updates lingering. Power off, and we'll get started into this new device that I've managed to get my hands on. Okay. 11:34. Okay, you guys ready? Orange Pi 5 Plus. Minus. Oh, yeah. Yeah, shipping include. Yeah. Shipping's gone up. Shipping has gone up from AliExpress. It used to be like $18, $16. Now it's gone up to $20. It's yeah. Let's go. All right. Cool. No, I'm not sponsored. No way I would have gotten new items together. But I do think that there is a place for the DJI Mic 3, especially with 4 mics, like podcast situations, right? Not sponsored yet. Yeti. All right, let me just eject this Kingston SSD and free up some space. Ninja. Okay, cool. We can engage that, disengage that, and then disengage the power. Okay, let's just clear the table. Okay, so you are aware of the Atomos Ninja HDMI monitor recorder. Let's go to top, and that is dirty. So we'll clean. Let's wipe this down. So this is the Atomos Ninja HDMI recorder. Now, a sale happened on the Atomos site, and it's not another Ninja, so don't worry about that. It is the Atom X Cast streaming and switching dock for the Atomos Ninja V and V Plus. I've been told that this is also compatible with the Ninja. I'm just going to call it the 2025 Ninja because there's too many Ninjas. So this is a streaming and switching dock for the Ninja. It has 4 HDMI inputs, and you can also plug this in via USB UVC to an OBS system and then stream the output of the 4 HDMI switcher units into here. Let's crack this open. Now, this was on sale. It still is on sale at the moment. So it's currently priced, when it was released, it was priced at $600. Let me, I don't want to talk shit, so let's Atomcast make the recommended price. Yeah, you can. So the Lumix BH or BGH1, you can stream. You just have to connect it to a network connection and stream. But it's a different type of streaming protocol. So all the details. But you need to have good upload bandwidth as well in order to stream all that detail. This is the Atom Cast, and I can see why this box just literally, the glue on the box just literally disintegrated. All right, so the original price of this device was $800 according to some of the early marketing. So it's is a, okay, let's pull out everything. This is a SSD handle, USB-C to USB-C cable, and then the dock, and then a booklet. So the dock itself has 8 buttons. In the front, the base feels like it's metal. It has a 1/4 thread on the base as well. On the side, it is rubber hard plastic, maybe ABS. Other side, plastic as well. On the top here, we have an MPF dummy sled, and here we have a spring-loaded 1/4 anchor. And on the rear, we have USB-C, 1080p output via USB UVC. We have a program output via HDMI, and then inputs HDMI 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a power device here, which did not come included in the box, I don't think. Let me double check. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not. Okay. Ninja V are not included but are required for the operation of Atom X casts, and there's nothing else in the box. I don't see a charger in here, so I'm assuming they want you to use the original charger from your Ninja V device. But because we have a Ninja, it incorporates a USB Type-C power cable. So the Ninja, let's bring this out here, includes a MPF dummy battery as well as a USB-C cable, which converts it to a power to provide to the Ninja. Let's just pull that out now. Let's get started. Right, so here we have USB-C to locking DC barrel, and then we have the dummy battery sled, which fits on the rear of the Ninja. So let's pull those out. That way then you guys will understand if you're doing a long a long gig, and you know that, okay, and you're next to a power supply of some sort, and you know that you don't need to use batteries, you can then install this dummy battery sled that slides in, and then you can use this cable, which converts USB-C to DC barrel to provide long boy time frame for this unit. So in that instance, we'll use this for the Atom X switcher. So now let's just eject this. We don't need this for now. So we will have to slide. So that's where this spring-loaded anchor comes in. It will mount to the top of the unit, whilst the sled slides into the battery slot. So you would just go halfway until it lowers itself. Then we slide up. Okay, so there is some kind of a spring-loaded push that you have to do in order to then slide and click the MPF sled, and now we will just slowly twist this in, and now you have essentially a 4-channel HDMI video switcher with recording of 1080p, and also recording 4 inputs of HDMI 1080p into here as well, and with the USB Type-C out, be able to then send it to a laptop to then stream to, or stream via OBS or stream via Zoom, and that is a adapter that plugs in to the rear of the Atomos Ninja. All right, let's now get power. So we will have to make sure that we have enough of a USB PD power delivery in order to provide enough power to keep this powered up. Here it says 6.2 volts to 16.8 volt DC. This screen, yes, so in order to utilize this base, you need to have a compatible Ninja device to use it. Once you remove the Ninja from this device, then this just literally becomes a dock. This would be an alternative to a yes, and I do believe there is also the ability to have Windows software to control the switching as well, via the USB-C connection to your PC. Right, let's provide power. I will use, so this battery does have a USB-C port, and that port is able to output 36 watts. So let's give this a crack and see. Yes, so you have to have a screen to use with this dock. Let's plug that in. And let's also now plug in the, so now we are connected a power. Let's now power on. 1, 2, 3. Whether or not this is enough to provide power to the unit, it remains to be seen. Okay, so now we are updating the firmware. I didn't do anything, so it must have been part of the initial firmware from the previous installation that just kept this in the background. You'll be a sitting dock if you don't have a screen. Weak man. Coming out with all the puns. So there was a major issue when this dock was originally released, back in, when was this released? This was shipping out in October 2021. And for the first year, people who used the Ninja V wasn't able to get it working because they needed to install firmware, which unfortunately at the time the Atomos company wasn't providing or wasn't available at the time. But if you just wanted to use as a capture card, no, you need to have the screen in order to fully utilize the dock. You can't use the dock by itself. So yeah, true. Right, let's now just, okay, I can't remember how I did this. Monitor, we need to flip. Okay, now we have the correct, the OBS bot cameras. I haven't used any of them before, so I don't know what to say. The more advanced version, I think it makes sense. I like to personally have to have the option to be able to record locally, regardless on what the camera is actually doing. If it's streaming, if it's setting its output to somewhere else, I want at least a option to have the camera to have the ability to record. So yeah. All right, let's now switch to the Atom X mode. So I believe we have to go into the cog wheel, or sorry, the top menu, and then switch to Atom X, and then I think that's it, because these should light up unless there's something that I need to do. Input HDMI. Okay, so we need to go to input source and switch it from the onboard HDMI ports to the Atom X Cast dock. And now the Atomos Ninja will perform a reboot in order to switch over to the Atom X Cast dock. All right, now everything's been lit up. So let's now connect HDMI cameras. So that wasn't as hard as I thought. Because of the firmware upgrade, this thing actually now is operational. Okay, let's add a couple of HDMI cameras. All right, no worries, Deadly. See you tomorrow. Okay, let's go number 1, just to keep things exciting. Then we go number 2. Then we go, we'll just do 3. I don't think we need all 4 at the same time. So we have 3 HDMI cables connected. And now we will gather 3 HDMI cameras. We have 1 HDMI camera. I will now provide power to it, as well as connecting a HDMI, as well as connecting it to this switcher. Okay. We have 1 camera connected. So if I tap this button here, this is a 2x2 layout. It quickly changes from single button to full screen. So now if we go back here, and double tap, and then switch it back out. Yeah. Now it's a very quick button to switch out between a 4 layout or a full screen layout. Let's now connect other cameras. All right, let's this one. 1, 2. second camera. Now we have a second camera. We will now connect a fourth camera, although I don't know if I have the I did have another HDMI cable. I just don't know where I've put it. So many things everywhere. Right, we'll add another camera. Just to have things working and tested. Alright, this one's powering up. Let's now connect you and put you over here. I've got too many cables too, but sometimes not enough time, because they're usually all packed away. Okay, and now we do, what's this? So we have one camera there, one camera here, and we don't have another long HDMI cable. Might, whether or not this works is another question. I haven't used it in such a long time. Thunder Spanner, welcome on in. Thank you for the lurk. I think it does do picture-in-picture, as well as be able to record inside the Atomos X. And let's plug this in. We have a HDMI cable, and I'll see if I can get a tripod, because this one has a good lens. Let's try this. I believe it can. From what I am reading, I believe it can record. I think you can also adjust the bit rate for the local recording as well. Okay, this one's not as stable as I hoped. Okay, never mind. Let's go here. So monitor out. Clean program out. One touch switch. Oh, so we can actually switch. Yeah, so we can do. Okay, you know what? Well, hang on. Let me just quit out of this. Once we add all the cameras, then we can do some discussion about how this works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Power on. It's not showing up. Why? Why isn't number 4 showing up? Yeah, it's on movie mode. Display. Ah, it's in 4K. Let me switch the menu settings to 1080p. So now we should have. Okay, now we should have. Okay, let's. Ooh, that's dirty. Let's go back to here. So now we have 4 cameras active, plugged into the dock. We now have the ability to switch between all 4 cameras or switch to a single one. But I don't know if this is being shown either via HDMI output or via USB Type-C. Let's, yeah, because all of these cameras are all connected via HDMI. Let's now connect the HDMI out of this dock into the PC. So many cables. Alright, let's bring you down here. Okay. Okay. Let me now re-enable this input because I believe it was disabled. Maybe. Yeah, that's the correct one. Yeah. Okay, let's go settings, overlay, multi-value, preview, Ninja, HDMI out. So we have camera 4 as active, but it's not outputting. Is it the cable? Okay, let's try again. Yeah, program out. Doesn't look like it's receiving anything. It's black, so it is receiving something, but not anything here. Oh, 1, 2. Okay, so let me go back to here. So what I had to do was push. Hang on, this. What should I add here? Okay, I had to push this live button on the very top right hand corner of the screen in order to enable the output to be pushed. So right now if we go to this one, and then if I now click the live, we should now be live. Now I'm going to switch to camera. This is now camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and then camera 4. So there's all that. Although I think I might need to switch to, so HDMI out multi-view. Why isn't that showcasing that? So if I do this, nope, nothing there. Multi-view, Ninja HDMI output program. Clean, record. Oh yes, seamless. Yes. So you asked about the format. You can change the type of codec that the SSD can record. So right now it has ProRes, HQ, LT, and 422. And then it has DNX, HD 220, 36, 145, 220, 220X. So there's only two codecs available in this Ninja for recording. So if you want high quality but high quality but for long run times, you go to LT. But if you want high quality, high data, then you switch over to HQ. So right now there is no hard drive, and technically this hard drive didn't really work with recording HDMI raw. So let's now insert that. Right, so if we go to ProRes HQ, you have 2 hours of 4-channel input recording on a 480 gigabyte drive. So let's just select that for now. Let me go into the media. Let's just format this entire drive because the HDMI raw failed on it completely earlier today. So we have a drive with 2 hours and 17 minutes worth of storage. Let's switch to all 4. Now we are in switcher mode, I believe. So if we go to F1, I believe this is picture in picture, but it doesn't show that. F2 is the audio. You can specify which HDMI input you want the main audio to come in and not change. So if you know that your audio is going to be good from input 1, you can select that as your main audio. F3, I think is, not sure. Right, let me bring in camera 4. Okay. So picture in picture doesn't actually show up on screen, which is a bit of a bummer because it shows up on the HDMI output but not on screen. So let me see why that is. Preview Ninja HDMI. I have no idea. Okay, so source is where we changed it from the Ninja's HDMI port to the Atom X input. Here displays all the data that each camera is pushing through via HDMI. Output is what we have here. So we can, I believe we can change some things here. Overlays, I think you can add a PNG to add as an overlay, like a logo. Picture in picture, you can set which position and sizing to a point. So right now, the picture in picture size is now set as does that work? Unless I'm doing it wrong. So number 1. Okay, so let's go back to F4. Let's switch to the first one. Let's go back to number 1 and remove that. So F4 changes to the numbers 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So that's your switcher mode. F1, you now have the ability to set which input you want your picture-in-picture to be, such as camera 1 or camera 2 or camera 3. Actually, we need to, okay, you know what, let me turn that off. So we set camera 1 as the main camera, which is this one here. So now you say you wanted to add a picture-in-picture, but you want camera 3. So you need to click F2 and then select which, or is it F1, sorry, which of your other sources you want to add into the frame. But I just want to see if there's the option to see that, and I don't see that. Picture in picture, we've enabled it. Opacity, switcher unit, switch with the touch, multi-view, Ninja HDMI output, program out. Yeah, but it's only four channels, so you should be fine. Recording, time code, file, you can change the filing naming as well. Audio, mic line, you can add a line in. I don't remember seeing that. Media is your drive. Date, this is why. Okay, this is 2025. We are in August. The date is, should have gone the other way, 2028, 29. The time is 12:11. Okay, so that is power. We are receiving power. Okay. Let's see here. So even in switcher mode, you have the ability to apply alpha channels, focus, white zebra, and a few other things as well. But here, this is a handy indicator as well. Oh, wish, man. CFE, welcome on in. Be rolling in the OF money. Yeah, for sure. Oh, you might. I need to bring it down. So there is shortcuts on screen telling you which button does what. So F1 is picture in picture, F2 is audio, F3 is overlays, F4 is the switcher. Now, unfortunately, I don't know why I cannot see the picture on this screen. So that's a bit of a worry. So I've changed the picture in picture on the output. Okay. But here we can switch. We can use the touchscreen to switch as well. Overlays, audio, picture in picture. But then, if we want to go to, we can use the touchscreen to switch as well. So if you don't remember 1, 2, 3, 4, you can just use the touchscreen to switch. Like, okay, we want the face. Okay, we want this one. We want the side. We want the other side. So we have that ability to use the touchscreen to change. Now, if we go into picture in picture, unfortunately, there isn't a way on the touchscreen to enable that. So you're going to have to utilize the actual buttons themselves. Again, if we want to just bring up the screen so that you can do quick close-ups. So here you can then do just double check the focus, make sure everything's in focus, and then turn off the, so I might need to step back. There we go. Now things are focused. So this gives you a very quick monitoring solution, even for incoming HDMI streams. So now we can turn off the zoom. Then we have grid as well. So then when you're in this mode here, you can kind of, all right, you need to readjust. And I need to go to F4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then safety margins as well. False color, I believe. And then go back into here. Channel 1. Oh, sorry, input 1, input 2, input 3, input 4. The HDMI plug has eyes. You have a question. Is it easy to explain? So the zebra, if we go back into the monitoring tools, we need to click this icon right here. Oh, okay, sorry. We need to remove. We need to switch from multi-view to single view, and then we can enable the monitoring tools. The zebra tells you which areas is bright. So on the monitor, it says that under my neck, my arm is actually bright, but on the output is that it looks normal. Because you can see the HDMI output now. So when the zebra happens, it's too bright. Yeah. So the zebra helps you with making sure your lighting is good and not one area is too overblown or underexposed. And then you can just turn off. And here I think it's color. I don't actually know what this does. So, and then the icon with the person and the dotted line around it, that just represents focus. So it gives you an idea of which, oh, hang on. So we have audio number 1, F4. So here it gives you an idea of what's in focus. So all the red lines tells you that everything is in focus. But then here, my glasses are in focus, but the microphone stand isn't. Or the shelf behind me isn't in focus, but I'm in focus. Sometimes if you're standing in the sun, or if you have eyesight problems on the day, you can utilize the focus peaking in order to utilize these lines to gauge focus. All right, let's now do a quick thing. Let me switch over to multi-camera screen, and let's also switch to let's now record. Hopefully this drive is fast enough to record. Before we do, we'll just double check the record and the format, 30 frames per second, ProRes HQ. LT is a lower tiered format of ProRes, and it will give you 5 hours worth of storage. I want to test to see if this records all 4 inputs as well as the output. So yeah, but lower compression, so more chances of pixelation, I think. But ProRes is a pretty good codec. So all right, let's record. So now this recording. We are now recording on the Atomos Ninja using the Atom X Cast Video Switcher system. We have a 480GB Samsung SSD installed and it's giving us a rough estimate of about 2 hours and 17 minutes worth of recording. What I want to know is whether or not this records each individual input as its own separate ISO, as well as the program output. So now let's go to let's go to input number 2, and now we are now in input number 2. So this is now camera input number 2. We'll now go to number 3. This is now camera input number 3 out. And now let's go to camera number 4. So we have 4 cameras that I have successfully switched between all 4 of them. And right now, let me switch over to single vision mode and then make sure we have F4 selected, which is the switching. We're now back to camera 3, and now switch to camera 2, and now let's go back to number 1. Now from memory, F1 should be the picture in picture. So let's go to F1, and then let's select camera 2 as the picture in picture input, and we can see it on the program out that it's actually working. However, it doesn't show up on screen. It just tells you as a different colored icon on the buttons on the bottom layer here. Let's now switch to camera 3 as the picture in picture input, and then let's switch to camera 4 as the picture in picture input. Now I want to know if, say we wanted to have camera 4 as the main camera. So what we need to do is disable, what we need to then unclick whatever the picture in picture camera is, switch back over to switcher mode, which is F4 in the very bottom here, and then select camera 4 as your main one. And now we want to go back into picture in picture. We then need to go to F1 and then select the input picture in picture HDMI camera, which I'm going to select camera 1, and now camera 1 is highlighted as yellow, which means it is currently being used via the switcher, and I can see that in the program output. Let's now go to camera 2. We are now in the camera's position 2, and then let's go to camera 3. Now the only problem that I have here is I don't know if I have the ability to change the position of the picture in picture location. I don't know if there is a way to do it on the buttons. Do I have to hold it and then switch it, or double tap? Do I have to then, or do I have to go back into the menu system of the video of the Ninja in order to select a different location? So if we go, we are now using camera 3 as the picture in picture, but camera 4 as the main camera. Let's now switch over to this section here. So there you go. We have the ability to change the position of the picture in picture only within the touchscreen interface itself. We are unable to change it via the button layout here. Unless I'm mistaken, there might be a way. If I tap and hold F1 and then click F, or is it, there is a way. I remember seeing it when they were doing it with these buttons, because each of these buttons have a different location of the picture in picture icon. So that would lead me to think that, oh, okay, we should have the ability to then change the position of the picture in picture via the buttons instead of having to rely on the touch screen of the Ninja itself. So let's go up there. That's fine. Let's now turn off picture in picture. Oh, let's now leave as is. Let's now go to switcher mode, and now let's change to camera 1. Picture in picture is still active. Camera 2, picture in picture is still active. If we go to camera 3, because the picture in picture is also camera 3, it removes itself from the scene. Now if we go back to camera 4, it will bring back it up. So now if we go back to F1, disable the picture-in-picture, go back into the switcher mode of F4, and then switch your main camera. And then if we want to re-enable picture-in-picture, we need to select the option of F1 and then select the actual input itself. Okay, now let me switch over to here. We now have the ability to do touch. And now if we want to disable picture-in-picture, we'll just have to tap on the input yellowed icon. And now we can go back into the switching function and change to a different function here. Alright, I'm now going to stop the recording. I haven't actually received any issues or warnings on screen in regards to the hard drive being too slow or not compatible. So let's stop the recording here. And I don't know how to play back. So there's a play button here, so I just need to know how to get to that point. But there doesn't seem to be a way to do so. Switcher, record, file. Nope. Audio, mic line, media, date, power, activation, Atomex info. So we might have to. We might have to. We might actually have to pull the drive and then read it on the PC. So let's go do that. Let's now stop the actual video switcher from pushing out the HDMI feed. So we just tap on this live icon here, and that will now stop the output of the switching to the HDMI port on the rear. So now let's so it looks as though there's no way to actually use this as a program output. So we can only have two cameras via the output at any one time. But it's a bit of a shame. I mean, this is a unique situation where you would want to show off all 4 angles in the one frame, but to have that not allowed is different. Okay, let's now remove the drive, but before I do that, I'm just going to turn off the unit itself. I might also stop the. All right. So 1, 2. Let me now turn off the unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unit has been turned off. I'm now going to remove the SSD. Ooh, this feels warm. Doesn't feel too hot. Let's now plug in this SSD that has recorded into the dock. Ooh, what would this be perfect for? Okay, I was... The nutmeg... Oh, shit, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I could bring all the wireless cameras too. Let's read the instructions as well. I'm sure I read somewhere where this does record ISO. Drive access. Okay, so according to, we only have one recording, about 9 gigs. Let's see here. Oh, let's. Why isn't that displaying? We're in Chrome. Oh. Individual input as its own separate ISO, as well as the program output. So now let's go to channel. Let's go to input number 2, and now we are now in input number 2. So this is now camera input number 2. We'll now go to number 3. This is now camera input number 3 out. And now let's go to camera number 4. So we have 4 cameras that I have successfully switched between all 4 of them. And right now let me switch over to single vision mode, and then make sure we have F4 selected, which is the switching. We're now back to camera 3, and now switch to camera 2. Now let's go back to number 1. Now from memory, F1 should be the picture in picture. So let's go to F1, and then let's select camera 2 as station. So if picture is still active. If we go to camera 3, because the picture in picture is also camera 3, it removes itself from the scene. Now, well, let's now leave as is. Let's now go to switcher mode, and now let's change to camera 1. Picture in picture is still active. Okay, so the recording is only recording what the screen is recording, what the screen is showing, not what the HDMI output is showing. Yeah, or unless there's a setting that I'm not seeing to do that, but at least this gives us an indication as to what can and can't be done for now. So unless there might be a setting that I haven't seen or enabled in order to record everything. Ninja. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's reinsert this. Atom X cast ISO. I don't know if it did or not. I'm sure I read somewhere where it could record ISO. Okay. Alright, I was wrong. So according to this, the Atom Xcast does not record ISOs. So it only records the output switch feed. But it doesn't state if it can record the picture in picture. So let me power this on. 1, 2, 3. All the cameras are still here. So unless there's a setting that I need to do. So if we go into sources, yep, input, output, overlays, picture in picture. If we enable picture in picture, and then switcher, clean. So there's a option here that says clean program record. That means any overlays, including picture-in-picture, doesn't get recorded. So let's go to cast program. All right, and let's just quickly move down. Cast program. Okay, let's close out of that. Let's now go to F4 again. Okay, let's go to live. And let's go to cam. Okay. This enables preview. So this is the preview. It gives you. All right. Never mind. Okay. Let's try again. Let's disable picture-in-picture. Okay, we are now recording on the Atom Ninja using the Atom X Cast 4-channel multi-camera input switcher. We are now on camera 1, and I'm now using the touchscreen. We are now on camera 2, touchscreen again. We are now on camera 3, touchscreen again, camera 4. So this is internally recording on the Ninja 5 as well as outputting a HDMI output into my PC. Now let's enable picture-in-picture. So we go to back to channel input 1 as the main camera source, and now we'll select a input number 2 as the picture-in-picture, switch it to input number 3 and then input number 4. Whilst we're here, we can also change the sizing of the picture-in-picture. There's unfortunately only 2 sizing. We are unable to change that. So let's go to here. We've now increased the sizing of the picture-in-picture video. I will now change it to camera. Now let's remove the menu. Let's go to now camera 2 as the picture-in-picture, camera 3, and then camera 4 as the picture-in-picture. Now, because of this functionality that I've just played with, if I were to push F1 again, would this now change the location? No, it does not. Okay. So camera 1, camera 2, because the picture-in-picture is also camera 2, it gets removed automatically. Camera 3, and then camera 4. So now let's go back into here, and then let's change 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we go to picture-in-picture. Now let's select camera 1. So picture-in-picture doesn't allow for. Interesting. So whilst in picture-in-picture mode, which is F1, the bottom buttons refer to the picture-in-picture input, such as camera 2. But the touchscreen refers to the main camera. So right now we have camera 1 as the main source. Camera 2, the picture-in-picture was labeled as camera 2. Camera 3, and then camera 4. Now the bottom layers will control the input of the input picture-in-picture, whereas the touchscreen will control the main picture. So that's handy to have instead of having to bounce back between F4, you can just say, okay, we need to have camera 1 as the main camera, and then camera 2 as the input picture in picture. So that's handy. Let me now try and see if that is applicable, of just using the buttons. And let's go to camera F1. Okay, F1. Okay, F1, F3. Nope. F1, F1, 2. 1. Oh. Can you layer it with the ATM so you can get dual pip? You could, but that way you'll bring it in 7 cameras. Welcome in, Buddha. Hope you're doing well. Because you'll have 4 cameras on this device, and then the A2 Mini, you have 3 cameras. Or depending on which your endpoint is, overall you have the ability to do dual pitch in picture with the main switcher. Yeah. Now I'm trying to figure out how to change the picture in picture to be a different location just by using these buttons. Unfortunately, anytime I tap these other 1 through to 3, it just changes the input. However, the icons listed here shows that you should be able to tap on this button to then switch over the location. So let's tap. Nope. So the only way to change the location that I've seen is via the touchscreen of the menu system of the switcher itself. 1, 2, 3. Then close. Okay, let's stop the recording. Okay. I knew the problem was that you clearly don't have enough cameras. That's true. Although now I have the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, which now does have the ability to do super sourcing. Well, it always had the ability to do.
집에 가면서 먹으려고 꿀맛.
It's gonna do a slow twist. Okay, and we're gonna do another twist this way. Sorry about that. I've mentioned that I have a lower back problem from earlier in the week. It's gone to a point where this might sound incredibly stupid and funny. If I need to pass gas, it hurts my lower back because I'm clenching. Oh, hence why I had to go into Be Right Back scene. But yeah, that is the Atom X from Atomus. So it was retailed to be sold for, I believe, yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna have to. It's not good. No, I haven't. So I might try that after stream. But yeah, definitely, for sure. So this is the Atom X Cast, the video switcher. Now it was recommended. It did have a recommended retail price of about $800 when it first was released. It is currently now for sale for about $223. But if you were to purchase it direct from Atom's website itself, it's dropped to $115, including free shipping. So, yeah, I saw that. I'm like, why not? to add extra features of an already awesome product, why not? Yeah. It was originally 800 and then it dropped down to 400, and then it's currently for sale right now if you were to purchase it from like reputable stores for $223, or yeah, so that's roughly $220, $235 is what the actual Atom Cast is currently for sale. But if you were to purchase it directly from the actual the Atomist site and use this coupon code, you will get it for half the price. So that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Unfortunately, I was incorrect in stating that this device had the ability to record ISO, but to record a program feed onto an SSD at ProRes, it's not a bad deal. You still retain the high quality of recording, and this also has the ability to output via USB UVC, which I should actually try now that we have everything connected, and I still have my Radza Rock 5A Bella box. So now let's connect. Let's see if, first of all, this detects the UVC output from this device. Then that way we could be able to actually stream. So this will plug into this, and then this will then stream to the Bella Box cloud. And then you have a multi-camera setup based on that. Excuse me. The only problem is the USB cable. All right, this is a good cable. This is from Belkin. I believe this is a high-end USB cable, or at least rated for USB 3.1. So let's plug this USB-C port into the USB UVC output of this switcher. Snapped. All right. Now, let me just turn off. Oh, we're not live. That's fine. All right. Let's me power on the Rock 5A. And now let me plug in the USB UVC output from the Cast into the Rock 5A. Now let me bring up the Bella Box remote and see if it actually detects the Atom X Cast via USB UVC. So let's go to encoder settings. Let's go to here. It says USB audio. So let's plug that in. Let's now start the BellaBox stream. Oh, okay. One thing is I forgot to actually push the live button, which will then enable the output of this device. So let's push live. We're now pushing out an active scene. Hopefully the BellaBox is able to detect it and switch to it as well. Unfortunately, I don't think this has seen it. So let me just stop the BellaBox stream. Let me now change this to MJPEG 1080p 30. We'll select USB audio. Let's now click start. Capture card error. Oh, okay. How dare you? Let me just double check to make sure we have an active output. Okay, we do. All right, so HDMI is working. Unless there's another setting I need to do. So let's go into the settings here. Let's program, cast, program out, switcher, record. Unless the output requires a PC and not a BellaBox system. File, media, Atom X, cast. Okay, there's no output. Okay, USB-C, HDP 2997. Okay, 29. So if we go to USB MJPEG, unless the output is not MJPEG but something else entirely, like UV or YUV might be it. All right, so unfortunately the Rock 5A isn't able to detect the incoming USB UVC input. It could be a few things wrong with this. I'm not entirely sure. Let me stop this. Let's now pull out and plug the USB directly to the PC. But I'll disable the HDMI and I will add this into the PC. The last USB device you connected has malfunctioned. Okay, so this cable might be an issue. So let's remove the cable. Make sure we connect it into the right one. Hit cast out. Let's use a different cable. Let's use... Okay, this cable here is from Logitech. This is used for the Brio 4K. So let's plug this in. Oh, it's a bit wide. Okay, it's too wide. It doesn't actually fit in. Does not actually fit into the socket here. So I may have to use the provided cable that came with the unit itself. Okay, I don't know if I have an adapter to convert from this type of cable to a standard USB 3.0. So let's go here. Let's plug that in. Snap. All right, good. Okay. Now let's see if I have the opposite of that adapter. So we need a USB. Yep, so we need a USB 3.0 to USB Type-C. Let's now plug that into the Rock 5A. And let me just double check to see if we have... Okay, this states that it's not active. Let's go 1080p. No, not 60, 30. Okay. So it seems that this cable and adapter doesn't technically work. So let me try a different adapter, maybe. Okay, let's try a different USB 3.0 adapter. And we will plug that into here. Alright, same thing. Oh, we now have a lit up icon. And according to the... Here we have now a USB audio. So, libuvc, let's start. Good thing I have unlimited cables. True. So, unfortunately, we do not have a stream at all when connecting the output of the USB UVC from the Atom X into the Rock 5A. So, sad about that. Right, let me stop this. And let me now just turn off the system. We will now switch over to... Oh, we can now... I'll connect this to the main PC and see if it detects it. No, the last USB device you connected to the computer malfunctioned. Windows does not recognize it. So, unless I have to add it in before pushing live, maybe. Let me go back into output. There is no icon. So the USB-C icon doesn't light up. So unless there is an issue. Unless there's an issue. Okay, let's read up on it. Atom X cast USB UVC. The Atom X cast connects via USB-C to your computer and appears as a high quality webcam. Alright, so I do have a dedicated USB-C port on the rear of my computer. So instead of me attempting to try and use an adapter, I'll just go direct into the PC via that USB port. Okay, we might have to shift around a few things here. Let's pull that out and let's plug you in. The USB device not recognized. So it's not recognizing it at all. Let me power cycle. Because it's plugged in correctly to the rear. Unless it's a power thing, but I don't see how that could be. Or I might change the adapter then. Instead of using this MPF battery,
Unless you've got power!
let's try a high capacity power output. And we're going with 60 watts. Let's now re-power on the Ninja. Okay. It's now powered on. It's going to now reconnect all the... Alright, I'm still getting an error with the USB. That's weird. And nothing's... I'm not doing it right. Oh. Oh wait, I've got monitoring still enabled, so no, USB connected malfunctioned. So yeah, let's pause. Let's go back to switcher mode. I don't understand. Is it the cable? Yep, last USB device you've connected to this computer malfunctioned. Windows does not recognize it. So, okay, so I am unable to, for some reason or another, I am unable to connect the Atomcast via USB Type-C into a PC or via a working USB Type-A cable as well. And I've changed over to a different power supply. Yep, so this is literally the only output here. 1080p TX, so transmission out, cast out, yeah. Unclear as to why this isn't able to be pushed. I do know that with some HDMI, with some USB UVC devices requires, it does output a different color range. So instead of the MJPEG codec, it utilizes the YUV codec, which then some devices, such as the Bellobox system, isn't able to recognize the YUV devices. Okay, let me try one more time, maybe. No, USB device not recognized. So, unfortunate. Even though there is a full-blown marketing for tutorials here with the desktop.
In this setup guide, we walk you through how to use the desktop app with your Ninja Cast. For more info on setting up your Ninja 5 or 5 Plus with the Atom X Cast, refer to this setup guide. Once you've connected your Ninja Cast to your computer via USB-C, the bottom right-hand corner of the app notifies you whether your Ninja needs the source.
Doesn't even connect. Doesn't even connect in the first place. So, yeah. Let me switch to top down. Let me push out alive and cam link 4. Let me now go into playback mode. Doesn't work. Okay. When I'm not live, I can play back the recorded footage on the monitor system itself. So let me just quickly remove all these guides and see if we can fast forward. Okay, so now the recording does have the picture-in-picture display. So, okay, we have that ability now. So before it was just the clean switch of 1, 2, 3, 4, but now enabling the cast program to be recorded, we now have the ability to see both the main camera and the picture-in-picture camera. Okay, release button. Connect the provided USB cable to the cast out and connect to Mac or PC. The cast out provides program out as a plug and play UVC source. And appears as a high quality webcam in your chosen application. Okay, I still don't know. Unless my computer needs a full restart in order to detect this unit via USB UVC, I'm stumped. I am truly stumped. Okay. Yep, truly stumped as to. Let me look into forums, as some might actually have ran into this same or very similar issue. So Atom X cast doesn't connect via USB. To troubleshoot non-connecting Atomcast, first ensure the Atomcast module is properly installed on your Ninja V and that the device is running the latest firmware. Okay, connect the Atomcast's dedicated USB port to computer. You found a bug. Okay, someone's found a bug. Okay. When I plug my Atom X into my Mac, it detects it for a second. Unless it doesn't like but then why wouldn't you want to have it? Okay, I've ran into issue that you can't seem to resolve when connecting it to your PC by USB-C. Okay, that's a good one. Having the same issue never worked when connected to desktop or laptop or with the Atom X cast. You can download the Atom Cast app from here. When USB-C is connected from the program out of the cast to PC, can you ensure your cast is in the switching mode by pressing F4? Okay, let's put it into switching mode and see. All right, let's go to F1, F2, F3, F4. Okay, we are in switching mode currently. We are currently in switching mode. Okay, now let's attempt to connect. No, doesn't work. It's in F4. It's in F4. Wait. Let me check the Atom X firmware. It doesn't really tell me. It just says 6462C16E. So let me download the most Atom X version 101. But it doesn't really tell me what version this is. Because if I go to Atom X, it just says 6462. So let me download this and then try again. Oh wait, these are apps. I want firmware. Download the latest. Calibration. Atom X cast. That's not. Yeah, firmware. Download the latest Atom OS and UltraSync firmware. Okay, this should be alright to deal with. Extract to Atom cast 101. Release notes, Google Chrome. Okay, there's nothing in there. Firmware updates. Okay, let's just install this and then reattempt to connect this device to the PC. I don't think it's going to work, to be honest. Let's go Atomos cast. Okay, so the switcher software is installed. Let's try this one. USB device not recognized. Yeah, USB device not recognized. Action. Okay, let's close that. Let's open up Atom X firmware. How do we update that then? Atom X cast firmware. firmware updates. Atom Xcast for the Ninja. Previous, yeah, we've went through all of this already, and it's already updated it. So, or it ran through an update at the very beginning of the stream. Atom Xcast firmware download. Firmware updates. Where is Atom X then? Because it's not shown here. Ninja. We're on Adamus 11. Let's see here. True 24p. I have no idea, unfortunately. We want... Okay, not calibration. Legacy? Can't be that old. Ronin. Apps. Atom Xcast. Just has the actual software, not the actual... Okay. Let me read up on someone else's issues. Okay, you know what? Let's write it down. USB not recognized. To resolve an unrecognized Atom cast, try different USB ports. Restart your computer. Okay, and test it on the PC. Cool. Check for power-related issues. Now I've switched over to an actual 60-watt device. Connection issues with Atom's casts. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. If an input is not detected, unplug and reconnect the HDMI. No, that's not what I'm looking for. USB. I need USB. USB error. Ensure. Troubleshoot with try updating the driver's device. That's not how it works. Okay. I am unsure as to the reason why I cannot get this device to connect to my PC. It is boggling my mind at the moment. So, but as you can see, we have the ability to change and switch between 4 different cameras, as well as having picture-in-picture enabled as well at the same time have the Ninja record the program output onto an SSD hard drive. So that's pretty good. I mean, for $100 or $110, as a additional add-on to use with the Ninja V. I think it's fantastic. It never connected. So every time I try to connect the Xcast to the PC, it comes up, it spits out with a USB error. USB not recognized. And I've tried multiple cables, different ports, still the same issue popping up. Let's see. That's good. Good enough. Alright, I've tried to look for the drivers. I don't think there was a driver issue. I don't know. Is it USB? Because it's seriously just supposed to be plug and play. That's it. That's all it's supposed to do. Plug and play. Because it's supposed to act as a USB webcam. So, not entirely sure why we're getting this error. Let me think. Alright, now we turn off. So, I wonder what will happen now that we have, let's say we remove this Ninja from this dock. I wonder what will happen with the Ninja V. Does it recognize it? Let me just eject it carefully. That's quite warm. And now let me plug in the battery. So I wonder if the Ninja will automatically switch back to Ninja mode and not Atom X cast mode. So let's now power it up. Okay. It's detected that the dock is no longer connected, and it's asked, please power off your Ninja and attach the module. To change the modes and operate without the module, press return and select alternative source. So we're going to have to click return. We go into source and then select HDMI and then enable that. The device will then restart and then boot up in the standard operating mode of HDMI in and out here. Okay. Okay, let's bring you down. Okay. All right. So I might have to look into that further. And see why this device doesn't connect to a PC, even though it's designed to be connected and detected as a webcam. And this just screws in there, and that is it, along with the power adapter for this device, as well as a hard drive handle for a caddy, which may or may not be suitable for what we have here. Okay. Jeez, it's 1:30. God damn. All right. Let me check and see what we have. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more games tonight. Just a bit tired at the moment. Let's see. Is there any one around? to raid into. Let's look for search by category, search lives. Let's go Battle Box. Pretty sure there's no one here. Oh, those are names. Shit, okay. Let's see who I'm following. Okay. Alright. Let's raid out. And again, thank you to everyone who's tuned in, as well as sticking around when the interruption happens whenever I played Warzone. Crazy. Crazy. Alright. Thank you again, Weekman, JPR, CFP as well from earlier. Yay, Buddha. Thank you for tuning in. And Thunderspanner, thank you for the lurk as well. Deadly, always a pleasure. Let's see here. Anyone I'm missing? Of course. Thank you for tuning in. And DJ Reminisce. Yeah. Hey Lloyd. Bye Lloyd. Bye cream pie. Hope you have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, or good night, wherever you may be. And yeah, let's. I don't have the energy to stay up to do the to the raid thing, but I'll probably do another stream tomorrow, and I'll try to find a more higher speed SSD to try and test the recording of the HDMI raw output from the Panasonic BG-H1. Thank you, JPR, as well. And I probably might do some watching of how to color grade. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Hope everyone has a good day, and goodbye.
You didn't say the magic word. You didn't say the magic word.